It's Jess here from Knockout Print Shop, and today I have a video for you using my Inkwell Press disc planner in the classic layout. I want to show you two different options I played around with for doing hourly planning plus to-do lists. So I know I did another video a couple weeks ago similar to this, and I'm hoping, if I can remember right, it's not the same layout I'm about to show you. It is not, but this is very similar. Okay, so this is what I came up with. So basically I took the week of the 13th of July and the week of the 20th and kind of used two different options to do again, an hourly plus a to-do list layout here in the Inkwell Press Classic Planner, which is vertical. And this could be used in a Makse Life, an Erin Condren, any kind of planner that is vertical, that is not already hourly. So I did, again, like I said, I did a video a couple weeks ago using a similar layout to the first one I'm going to show you here. It's darn near the same thing. So let me go over that and then I'll show you option two. So right now, the way my schedule has been, I've been having still a lot of to-do list type of tasks. That's typically what my days look like, is mostly to-dos. But now, since I'm doing some remote work, I do have a lot of meetings that I need to make note of. So I've been kind of combining some meeting scheduling, so hourly planning, as well as my to-do list. So what I did here in the Inkwell Press is, as you know, with the new classic layout for 2020, she had these little escalate, cultivate, accommodate words pre-printed on the side. I personally, as you know, if you've watched my other Inkwell Press videos from this year, I don't like these words being there. I know it's part of the Live Well method, so if you're into that, you probably do like this system. For me, it's kind of irrelevant. It kind of gets in the way. I'm not into it. So when I do use this planner, I cover them up with our cover strips. So what I've used on this particular spread for cover strips is I've used our sticker where the middle section here is a hourly schedule. So I'm using this whole middle chunk that is typically called I don't even know how this system works. What is it called? Cultivate. So the cultivate section here is hourly, and on the listing on our shop, you do get to pick the start time. So this gives you, what, a 12-hour, I think, chunk here, and it's done by hour. Then the top section is tasks, and this bottom section is, I've titled it focus. You can customize this. This is like a semi-custom listing. I'll link this listing down below in the description so you can see. So you get to customize your start time, and I really hope I'm right saying this. And then the two words here you can customize. So to get rid of escalate, I have tasks, so that's gonna serve as my to-do list. To get rid of the word cultivate, I have the hourly schedule here, and at the bottom, to get rid of accommodate, I have focus. So again, if you watch my previously hour plus to-do video, you'll see that this is essentially the same spread. So what I've done here is taken our outlined check boxes and created a checklist where each line is a different task, and then just marked them off as I've gone. And that again is similar to what I did here a couple weeks ago. So these again are kind of the same. And then this middle section, I've used our mini virtual meeting, which again are about a line height, and use that to schedule my meetings as I go. So I do like how this works. The only issue I have with using a planner like this with hourly and only having this time strip on the left side is that I have a hard time thinking, okay, well, this line serves always as 9 a.m. Do you know what I'm saying? So you kind of have to kind of visually go across and go, okay, this is 9 a.m., this is 8 a.m., whatnot. And obviously if you have a meeting on the half hour, like I think this meeting here was at, see, I need to kind of go across, 12:30. So that's kind of confusing to me. So I think maybe what I would do going forward if I use this layout is I would not only put it on the hour here based on this time strip, but I'd also maybe write it in like 9 a.m. So I'm not 100% in love with this versus the next layout I'll show you, because again, I have a hard time kind of knowing, well, this is at 9 a.m. without like dragging my finger across and going, oh no, this is at 8 a.m. So the other workaround besides also writing it in, maybe to use one of these strips every single day. I think that could help with, if you're like me and you cannot visually think of that time following all the way across to the other days, if that makes sense. And again, because each line is serving as an hour, if you have a meeting on the half hour or the quarter hour, that can also be a little bit confusing from like a logistics standpoint on the scheduling section. but it does work. So there's that. And then the bottom section here, I used part of the focus section to use our outlined work boxes, and I just put how many hours each day I did. I worked for the remote work that I'm doing, which again, you can see is how I used this section here. Then for the focus, what I went in and did, this is more so after the fact. I think if I was using this actively, this was kind of, again, a mock spread, I would address this area first and go, okay, what is my main focus for the day? Even if it repeats up here as a task, this is kind of like my focus is to do X, and that draws my attention to that. Like for instance, this is like remote work and sharing content. That was the main things that I was gonna do that day. And then up here, it kind of breaks into the individual tasks around that like focus area. Email evaluation, this is, I was going through our email flows and analyzing their effectiveness. So then again, this kind of breaks down here. So that's kind of what I'm using this area for. I think going forward, if I were to do another mock spread or use a spread like this, I may change this bottom word. Instead of using focus, maybe use like, put work here for hours worked, or maybe use this section for something else. Whether it is maybe I put gratitude and I have a gratitude there, or a highlight from the day, something else, because I don't think this focus section is serving the way I had originally intended it to. Okay, so just like the spread I did a couple weeks ago, I did use our thin washi to create a bit of a divider here. Last time I did this, I just kind of didn't use any stickers down here and used this whole section as just a running personal home to-do list. Here for this particular week, what I did was I did make these, it doesn't have to be this way, but these particular tasks were done on this day. And I did throw in some random icons and things like that. These are all home tasks. So these tasks that I put down here didn't necessarily need to be designated to a certain day, but for this spread, I did do that. So this is one way I think you can use hourlies and to-dos. Now let's flip to the next week and see how this looks different. So in some ways this looks similar, but the focus is kind of shifted. So instead of using this, so first of all, instead of using the cover strips that are have custom text and then a time-based thing in the middle, I just use the dashed line cover strips to just cover them up and act like they're not there. So what I did then was I got rid of those, so I have a little bit more of a clean slate. Then I used our highlight headers to use this essentially middle chunk or beyond as my to-do list, because my to-do list seems to be the heavier portion of this. I don't have a million meetings. So I'm actually kind of wasting space for me and my lifestyle by using this whole middle section as an hourly planner. And again, like I said, I just visually have a hard time seeing the times the way I would like to see them. So what I did instead was I used this top part as an hourly planner. You can see again, I didn't fully do this spread, but you're just kind of getting the idea here. I usually have 2, no more than 3 meetings per day. And even if I were to go every other line with these little icons, like I can quickly take this off for you and show you. Like putting this on the second line, I could easily put 2 here. If I were to put this on the first line, I could go 1, 2, 3 meetings very easily here. So if you're somebody with 2 to 3 meetings, or you don't mind having these lined up on every single line, maybe you have 4 or 5 meetings a day, this works really well. And then I can just write in the time. And for me, since my life isn't time blocked or scheduled, or I don't have, a lot going on schedule-wise, this works out really well to just designate this little section at the top for my hourly meetings. And I see those, and can base my daily schedule around when my meetings are. That can dictate when I do my to-dos, do things around the house, stuff like that. Then the meat of this spread is dedicated towards the to-do list. I use the same sticker here, the outline checkboxes, and just started the running list. This gives me a lot more space for my to-dos, whether I want to do 1 line per task, or maybe my writing's a little bigger, or the task's more detailed and I need to do 2 lines, and I need to make these guys, oh my God, my hands are so sore from pulling weeds, guys. I can barely pull up stickers. So, or I could put these every other and use more space to write the to-do, whether my handwriting's bigger or it's a more detailed to-do. So, and you obviously have this little heavier line that she added here to create these sections. You could keep this to-do list running all the way down and ignore that heavier line, or you could just kind of designate this bottom section to something else. So I used the work boxes again, but put those at the bottom of the planner. spread where I can write the note of how many hours or minutes I worked that day. So again, this is mock spread, so I haven't fully finished it, but it's just to give you an idea. And then the bottom here, again, is serving as a home or personal to-do list. And this particular week, I did do it based on the day that things were done. Our baby chicks arrived on Wednesday, so I used a little heart, $sign for paying bills. I did use some icons with text for different home tasks. I just kind of used random stuff that I had literally laying on my desk that were this color. Used a weekend banner here. And then on the weekend, my life is kind of different. I don't really work on the weekends. It's kind of basically doing outside stuff. So farmer's market, put that there. Date night, use an outline box here. So this is almost like its own little thing. Monday through Friday is very consistent. And then we have this like weekend weirdness. And then I did use a weekly action steps here related to my goals from my mission board. Okay, so that is basically my idea on 2 ways you could use the Inkwell Press Classic as a hourly planner plus a to-do list. So again, you have this one where if you are someone with a lot of meetings, you might want to use this middle section for meetings. If you're somebody with only a few scheduled time-based tasks, you might want to use only the top section for it. So I hope that gives you guys some ideas on ways to play with this layout, some of the stickers we have, and to integrate scheduled time-sensitive items with to-do lists. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions about these spreads, the stickers, planning, any of that stuff. And I hope this was helpful. Let me know comments, questions in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.